Best of luck.
Well, good.
Okay, we'll get started with Sabrina and then we'll go with.
I think yesterday was the first time that JJ and Stu had both practiced together, right?
Yes.
Just based on that level of familiarity, how do you feel about how the first half went?
Yes, for me, it was like just great to have them back on the court. It was the first time that the whole team had practice with them, and just still get, like I said, it takes time to get that chemistry, get to know how they play and vice versa, and a little conditioning as well. JJ hasn't played for a while, as Stewie has. But yeah, I mean, they played overseas, so I think that familiarity will come quickly. It's more, new system, so I have to learn about each other. But yeah, it was good to have them back on court.
No, for Sabrina, I guess just what are your goals right now for the preseason? What do you hope to accomplish?
Yeah, just to get better every day. And that's what we've been doing. We've been holding each other accountable. We've been figuring out ways that, we have to build chemistry and we have to do it quickly. And the nice part is that we've been able to get some preseason games in and finally have our roster coming together. And, the beauty of it is we play in less than a week, and, those games count. So we're able to take, what we've learned from these 2 preseason games that we've played and, really put it to the test against great competition when we start the season. But, obviously not getting too high or too low. I think that's kind of the beauty of being able to get these preseason games in, and we got to learn from the mistakes we made tonight.
Any mistakes in particular stand out?
I mean, overall, I think just our defense, trusting one another behind us, communication, continuing to rebound the ball well, take care of the ball, take good shots. And that all comes with continuing to play with one another and figuring out positions on the floor, tendencies, what we're good at. And it's going to take time, and we're going to be able to start doing that in practice now that we have our team back together.
Really?
So for even from the players. So leading up to this game, of course, the whole talk was the WNBA final preview and a preseason game, very premature. But at the same time, I can't remember a time where we were going into a season where the top 2 teams, there was that much difference and from the rest of the field, and there was this much hype. Can it be good for the league? Is it sort of, can it be fun, or could it maybe anger some of those other teams and get them a little more hungrier?
Yeah, look, I think it's good. I think we have to create rivalries. I think that's where we create storylines and people start talking about it. So if they're talking about WNBA, that's a good thing. We're all winners, aren't we? So that's the big goal there. Like obviously the Vegas are the championship team, and they deserve to be the #1 favorites here. And we're still learning a lot about each other. But like overall, I think we're creating a little bit of hype. Now I think every team's gotten better. And I'm excited to just get into the season but to focus on us being the best we can from day one. But we have to not get too high or too low, because we still need some time to put up the chemistry. And you saw the chemistry that the Vegas team has. It was like, okay, well, they've played together, haven't they? They just zing, like, oh my god, we're still learning how to play together. So they have the advantage there, and so we just have to keep being one day at a time.
Sabrina, the games that were played last year between these 2 teams, especially the one right before the All-Star break, was a wild game. And it's overtime, and then come out of the break, and they couldn't play late a couple of times, I believe. But just in general, is there a bit of a rivalry going into the season without the hype already from how the meetings work? There were some good games, good matchups last year.
Yeah, I mean, I think now more than ever, probably it's more media wise. Obviously, top 2 teams, there's, starting the season, there's always this rivalry. But to be honest, I don't think there's one within the team. There's not this whole, we're playing Vegas, there's this hype. I think for us, any opportunity that we have to play a team, we know there's a target on our back, and we know that's only going to make us better. And so, at the end of the day, like Coach said, every single team has gotten really better, a lot better. And the first team that we're going to play, Washington, is a really good basketball team. And so we're not really focusing on the hype between the top 2 teams. We got to take care of business and be able to get to a position to win those games and to do that in September. And that starts with the game that we have coming up this next week. And we got to take care of business, focus on the things that we can control, and continue to build chemistry, and all the other stuff with rivalries and what happens in playoffs is going to take care of itself, because we got to get there first.
I guess for any of the, what you guys, I know it's a preseason game, but what you guys learned from this Vegas team heading into the season?
They're a really good team. I think you saw that. I talked about the chemistry. You know, they know how to play with each other. You know, just there's so much spacing. They got so much scoring power. And you know, Candace obviously didn't shoot the ball well tonight. She's probably still working out how to play with them as well too. But the other four, I mean, they were a handful for us, and I think that was a lot. You know, a lot of good things. You have to try and find a way how to slow them down. But you know, offensively, we got a lot of open looks. We just didn't make them. So we just have to you know, stay poised and just get to work tomorrow and get better.
We'll go to Miles on Zoom.
Hi, Betnijah. Sabrina was talking about some of the defensive challenges you guys were facing today and then back to Wednesday also. As a defensive leader on this team and someone who's always loud and communicating, how do you learn from Wednesday's game first and then today's as well and build on that?
I think film and practice helped with that. I think we're a lot better today defensively than we were on Wednesday. So it's just continuing to grow. You know, we have a little bit of time right now to get ready. We have practice tomorrow and then practices leading up until our first game. So it's just about, you know, seeing where we weren't great at and trying to improve upon that. I think we were more aggressive today than we were on Wednesday. So it's just all about the growth and figuring out how to play with each other, because now we have everybody back except for Slouie.
Thank you. Thank you. And Sandy, the reserves made another push in the fourth quarter today. Which of them has made a very large impression to you in transitioning from the practice floor to these last couple of games?
Look, I think at certain times of the game, they all have. But if I had to pinpoint a few, I think Stephanie Morwali, I think she's done really well. Really smart player. I think Sika's shown some moments there too. And obviously I didn't play Nyara that much tonight, but she's done, you know, obviously she's had a really solid training camp and at different times, even Morgan Green, you know, so she's got a little speed and has no fear. So they've all had, you know, really good training camps and showed some, you know, bright moments and made the most of their opportunities. And, you know, this is their first time playing in the WNBA in a training camp. So I think it's been a pretty great experience for them.
Jack.
Thanks so much.
Hello, all. Sandy, first for you, we were trying to keep track by the live stats here on the East Coast. We saw you were toying a lot with the lineups, especially in the first half, even with, Dee coming in, Steph as well. I'm just curious what went into some of those decisions in the first half and what lineups did you like from the experimentation?
Yeah, we're still learning a lot about ourselves, you know, how it kind of fits, and we're trying to find someone who actually could slow Plum down. We didn't really find too many. I think B did probably the best job on her. So it's a time to just experiment a little bit. This is not about our final rotations and but I wanted to get Stewie and JJ some consecutive minutes, and obviously Sabrina and B, I try to, you know, get a little conditioning in that way too, and just trying to see how it all works. First time for us playing, second day with us, just with the full team. Well, we don't have Salute yet, so it still gets to change a fair bit, but just trying to work out how it will look. And we still have, like I said, make some cuts, some hard decisions coming up, so it's still evaluation as well.
For sure. And I'm curious as to what are some of the things that you do to speed up that learning the chemistry process while also not, as you say, overtraining or over practicing?
You just got to play as much as you can. That's the way you do it. It's by doing it. You know, I said like in 2 days, it was the practice yesterday was the best we've had because we added Stewie and JJ to it. Now, I think the next time once Saluti's cleared next week, I think the practice is going to get better and better. Because like Sabrina's playing the one, we know she's a great one, but she's going to be off the ball a fair bit too. How that looks, you know, how we put them in the best positions. So, but yeah, just it's a process. So.
Thanks a lot, ladies. We'll let you head out.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Safe travel.
Thank you. Well, see you tomorrow.
How you all?
Not to say. That was very. Yeah. Thanks.